Guys, if there's anything we've learned from Free so far, it's 1. Swimming a relay will help you attain enlightenment on the world and yourself, and 2. You have to swim free! Hey guys, how are you all? Today I'm super excited to be reviewing Free Episode 7. Episode 7 has a really different feel to it than the other episodes do, because in this episode, even though there was a race, there wasn't that usual intense ferocity that kind of accompanies the swimming and even the music. So in this episode, we got to see a bit more of Sosuke, which I'm really enjoying. Sosuke used to swim with Rin as a kid, so I'm guessing that he used to understand something about swimming that's kind of lost on him now, I guess, that he's become such a competitive swimmer. And I think he's trying to find that thing that he's used to feel when he used to swim with Rin. He's a really interesting character because when you contrast him to anyone in the Iwatobi side of things, he's so much more jaded than the Iwatobi boys. Makoto and Rei and Nagisa and even Haru, they're all about swimming together, really fun friendship, like super, super positive. And that's kind of what makes them really attractive characters that you kind of gravitate towards. I think Sosuke's really missing that teamwork aspect of that just because he doesn't understand why Rin cares so much about the Iwatobi boys when they will neither help him further his ambition nor challenge him to swim better. I can kind of empathize with Sosuke not feeling anything after the relay because I feel like even if Sosuke wasn't swimming his best, he could still surpass Rei in the butterfly aspect. Haru is the only person in Iwatobi that can actually kind of like pair up and like challenge the Sabizuka boys to swim faster and like to push them to their limit. So Haru has been scouted this episode, as have Rin, and of course we already know Sosuke has been scouted. Haru has kind of gone back to being a little bit of an enigmatic character because in the first season, he's kind of like super quiet and we only learn about Haru through his interactions with the other boys. And mostly Makoto at that, because Makoto best understands Haru. Even now, when we are watching Makoto and Haru interact, Makoto really has no idea what Haru has planned for the future. And Haru himself, all he ever writes on the future like sheet is, I want to be free. Rei is probably the most puzzled person because 1, he hasn't known Haru as long, and 2, he's a generally very logical person, whereas Haru is just like, free, free. So Rei asks Nagisa, what does Haruka-senpai mean by free? And then Nagisa's like, to Haru, free means free. And it was like a really deep moment, and then Rei was just like, what? Trying to crack Haru and figure out what he is a pretty difficult thing to do in my opinion. Almost as difficult as Sosuke, but at least you can kind of understand where Sosuke's cause and effect comes from. Versus for Haru, most of the time he goes by emotions or just like his passion for swimming. So a lot of the times you can't really like figure out where Haru is going with his line of thought. There was a really interesting scene with Ai and Sosuke. Ai was like obviously pretty upset because he didn't get to swim the relay because his times weren't good enough, even though he probably wants to swim in the relay more than anyone else on the team. And it's interesting because Sosuke comforts him, but not with his own words. Sosuke gives Ai a bunch of really comforting words, and then at first you're kind of surprised because you're like, wow, I thought Sosuke really like didn't care about this guy. And at the end of all the advice, Sosuke says, that's probably what Rin would say. So Sosuke doesn't actually give his thoughts or voice what he would say in this situation, because he probably would say something like, well, you're just not really good enough, so too bad. Adding Sosuke into the second season of Free was a pretty interesting dynamic just because he's so off and alienated and different from the other guys. Even for Rin, who is like aspiring to be like a competitive swimmer, he's not as hardcore and jaded as Sosuke is, which is why I'm so interested in Sosuke as a character. I really feel like turquoise is my summer color. It just might be because I'm really obsessed with Sosuke this season, but in general, I'm just really obsessed with Free this season. This is really important. I forgot to mention this, so I had to go back and refilm it, but it was really important. Did you guys watch those previews? Rei was like, hey Nagisa, how do you say kiss me in Japanese? And I was like, what? Who? And then everyone starts saying kiss me, and then Rin comes in with like friggin' Mamoru Miyano's voice, and he's like, kiss me, and I'm like, ah! And then randomly it's like perfect body. I'm like, who's saying that? Judging from the previews, I think someone's gonna go play with dolphins, and they're gonna ask a dolphin to kiss him. I really hope that's the case. If not, all of you Fujoshi girls, and kind of me included, if Free turns into a yaoi, I don't even know, like, I can't, no, I really hope there's a scene in Free episode 8 where all the boys just kind of sit down and be like, okay, we're gonna practice our English, we're gonna use the phrase kiss me, and we're just gonna like practice this for the next 20 minutes. I would be really okay with an episode 8 being like that. I'm sure you guys would be okay with that too. So these are my thoughts on Free episode 7. This episode was definitely really different from the ones we've seen so far. Let me know what you guys think of the episode in the comments, because I feel like there's so much discussion that we could have over episode 7. Do you guys think that the Iwatobi boys will ever fully beat the Samesuka guys just because they're super competitive school? Is Haru just gonna be free for the rest of his life, and what is he gonna do with his life? And even for Sosuke, like, what do you think is the thing that Sosuke is looking for? And do you think friendship and happy stuff is gonna like help him find that? Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, don't forget to hit like or subscribe. If you are a fan of Free as much as I am, tune in every week on Wednesday for a new Free video. I'm having so much fun filming these videos, and I enjoy them so much every week. I hope you guys like them too, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye!